Hare Krishna Maharaji.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranams.
Dandavat Pranams.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. Are we going to have a nice... Oh, everyone's back, are they? They're all back from their holiday?
Yes, Maharaj.
Recording in
Good.
progress.
Very good. Just give a couple of minutes. I'm early. I don't want to.
Sure, Maharaj.
It's still cold there.
Maharaj, I'm in USA, so it's freezing cold here. But in Pakistan, I think these Prabhujis and Matajis can tell something. Ishwar Prabhu, is it cold?
You're
Yes.
in the US.
Yes, Maharaj, I'm in the US.
And it's freezing. Huh?
Yes, Maharaj, it's snowing here. The temperature is minus 21 degrees Celsius.
Where are you?
In Michigan.
Oh, you're in what's it called again?
Yeah.
Yeah, where the university is.
Sorry, Maharaj?
You're in...
Michigan. Michigan,
Yeah,
Battle Creek.
Where?
Michigan, Battle Creek, which is near to the Detroit.
Near to Detroit. Oh, yeah. Well, Detroit's always cold, yeah.
Yeah.
The windy city.
Yes, Maharaj.
Cold. Chicago, Detroit, oh, terrible.
Yeah, Chicago is very terrible.
I don't know how you manage.
I just
You have good heating in your house, I hope.
Yes, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
And don't go out too much.
Sure, Maharaj.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Nice to see you. Welcome back.
Yes, Maharaj, we are ready for this class.
Okay, good. I'm happy to see you all. We're finishing chapter 16. Have you been reading the Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, Maharaj.
Are you also a doctor?
No, Maharaj, I am a homemaker, housewife.
Oh, okay. So you have time to chant.
Yes, Maharaj, but also so many works to do. There are so many things. I have 2 daughters and so many time.
Yeah, keep you busy, yeah?
Yes, Maharaj.
Your daughters are schooling.
Yes, Maharaj, they are one is doing accounts and finance in university, and the other is 16. She is doing O-levels.
Oh, okay. So they can take care of themselves pretty much at that age.
Yes, Maharaj, but they are still habitual of me. Sometimes I just feed them with my hand, so they take so much time. They are very careless, and sometimes I am so much worried about them. They are completely dependent on me still.
No. So you have to distance yourself from them. You have to make them more independent. Let them stand on their own feet.
Yes, Maharaj. Sometimes I think also that the space should be given, but I don't go anywhere. Like my parents live in India, so I don't go there. Like these borders are closed, and I don't have any brother or sister here in Pakistan. Everyone lives in India, so I'm alone here with my in-laws. So there is no one to go somewhere.
Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Krishna's with you.
Yes, Maharaj. Definitely, he is with me.
That's the main thing. Okay. So we're going to begin. So welcome everyone to our ongoing study of the Bhagavad Gita at the level of Bhakti-Shastri. So last Monday we presented the 16th chapter. Those of you who may not have been here, you have to see the recording of the lecture. Right? Because we did give class for 1.5 hours. So then we decided we would stop because the attendance was so small, because many of you had gone away for the holiday. Anyway, we're continuing here, chapter 16, describing the divine and the demoniac nature. Two natures, right? Daivi Sampat and Asurik Sampat. So we'd spoken in the week before, we'd already spoken about the qualities of people who are of the divine nature. And we mentioned remember there was different qualities depending on which Varna and which ashram you were in. And we spoke about the qualities of somebody who's a sannyasi, and somebody who's a grihasta, and someone's a brahmachari. And they had different qualities which were important. Some qualities are there for everyone. They're important for everyone. But there are some particular qualities which are more important depending on the ashram. Just like sannyasi, we said the important quality for the sannyasi was, first, you remember someone?
Yeah, fearlessness.
Renunciation and fearlessness.
Yes, good. Fearlessness. And also knowledge is important. They should have good knowledge of the scriptures because they're renouncing the material world. So that renunciation should be based on knowledge. So those are important for the sannyasi. And for the vanaprastha, the important quality was?
Austerity.
Yes, right. Austerity. Good. Because vanaprasthas, they're retiring from the world. So they're preparing themselves for leaving the body. So austerity is that preparation. And then for grihastas, what's the important quality?
Charity and sacrifice.
Charity, cleanliness, and sacrifices.
And control of the senses is particularly mentioned. Control of the mind and senses is important also for grihastas. And for the brahmachari, important qualities will be?
Studies of the cultivation of knowledge.
Yes, cultivation of knowledge. Yes, one thing else.
Humility.
Study of the Vedas. Study of the Vedas, the scriptures, they should study like that. For the brahmacharis, that's usually what they like to see. Cleanliness is important for everyone. Okay, and then we spoke about the demonic qualities, and Lord Krishna especially mentions 3 gates to hell. Do you remember? What are the 3 gates to hell?
Yes, Maharaj. Lust, greed, and anger.
Yes, right. Lust, anger, and greed. Right? Lust is the first thing which comes, which gets people. When people have lust to get something, and if they get it, they're greedy for more. And when they don't get what they want, they become angry. You see, so the anger and the greed, they both come from the lust. So every sane man, they have to give up these things because they lead to degradation of the soul. And Lord Krishna explains in the next verse after that, this is text 22, this is the man who has escaped the 3 gates to hell performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination. Alright, so you have to have given up lust, anger, and greed. It's very important to avoid these things. And it's not easy because, we do get very angry sometimes when we don't get what we want, when things go wrong. And sometimes we're very greedy also. So these things are stopping us from going back to Godhead. Right? We have to perform acts which are conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attain the supreme destination. In other words, it's going to take some time. It's not so easy, gradually. And then text 23 in chapter 16, another important verse, Lord Krishna mentions about Shastra Vidim, the regulation of the scripture, right? So if someone gives up the principle, the rules and regulations which are in the scriptures, and if he acts independently and whimsically, then nasasidim avapnoti, in other words, he won't get perfection, and then nasukam, he won't be happy, and na param gatim, he won't be able to attain the supreme destination. So 3 results of giving up the scriptures, what is called Shastra Vidim. You don't follow the scriptures, and then the result is you don't get perfection, you won't be happy, and you won't achieve the supreme destination. Right? Here you can see the translation. He who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. Nasasidim avapnoti nasukam na param gatim. And it's all because of Shastra Vidim, because they give up the scriptures. They stop following the principles which are mentioned in the scriptures. So that's very dangerous. And then text 24, the last verse in the chapter, Lord Krishna said, one should therefore understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of the scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. You see, again, the word gradually is used. In other words, it's going to take some time. You have to be very dedicated and serious. Then you can go on that path. So we have to understand what is our duty and what is not duty. And we understand that through the regulation of the scriptures. And then when we act according to the scriptures, we can gradually be elevated. So this is the 16th chapter. And then chapter 17 goes on. Let's see. Well, I'll just go to my PowerPoint on this. Krishna. Okay. Share. Okay, slideshow. Are you able to see these slides?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay, good. All right, so we're going to go through these slides. I want you to see everything which is there. Divine and demoniac natures. So we showed the connection between chapter 14. Remember chapter 14, it was about the three modes of material nature. So you can see on the top, on the light blue color is sattva, the mode of goodness. And then the dark red color, rajas and tamas. That's chapter 14, discussing the three modes of nature. And then chapter 15 described about the banyan tree. And we described how living entities are on different branches of the tree. For the living entities in the higher region of the universe, they're in the upper branches. And living entities like our own self, the human form of life on earth, and animals and so on, we're in the lower branches of that tree. And then chapter 16 then goes on to describe about the divine and the demoniac nature. So you can see 14, 15, and 16. They're all three chapters are speaking about the two natures, the higher nature and the lower nature. Or as it's described in chapter 16, the divine nature and the demoniac nature. We could also call it the higher taste and the lower taste. Anyway, sattva and rajas and tamas. We want to understand, this way you can understand the connection between the three chapters. It's important for us to see how these different chapters connect. So then, we spoke about the two natures, Devi Sampat and Asuric Sampat. The chapter begins describing Devi Sampat. And there's some, I think, how many qualities in the Devi Sampat, the godly nature? How many qualities are there?
26.
26, right? Is it 26? Yeah? Or is it 20?
26, Maharaj.
26, okay, thank you. right? So Devi Sampat, 26 different qualities are there. And that's divine qualities. And then verse number 4 describes the Asuric qualities. And how many Asuric qualities are there mentioned?
6.
3 Maharaj.
6. Huh?
6. Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah, 6, right. Yes. What, you can read them out for us? What are they?
Maharaj, pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance.
Oh. Mm. Pride, arrogance, harshness,
Anger, ignorance, and conceit. I think.
ignorance,
Yeah.
ignorance and conceit, huh?
Yeah, that is. I'm not pronouncing it correctly.
Oh, okay. So then demoniac qualities are mentioned like that. Here you can see the 26 qualities. And we were speaking about qualities, which ones are for which particular ashram, which ones are for everyone. Like freedom from anger, truthfulness, non-violence, these kind of things, they're good for everyone. Compassion, good for everyone. Okay, so those are the 26 qualities, and then here you can see the demoniac qualities: pride, arrogance, conceit, anger, harshness, and ignorance. So these 3 qualities, they take us into the lower region, or take us into a lower species of life if we become absorbed in these kind of qualities. Then we don't need the human body. We'll stay in the lower species of life, demoniac nature. And then Prabhupada spoke about this abhijatasya, referring to people born in a good situation with good qualities. So Prabhupada said the word abhijatasya in reference to one born of transcendental qualities or godly tendencies is very significant. To beget a child in a godly atmosphere is known in the Vedic scriptures as Garbhadan Samskar. If the parents want a child in the godly qualities, they should follow the 10 principles recommended for the social life of the human being. So abhijatasya means child is born with good qualities. Right? People want a family, they want to have children, they should want to have good quality children. And so there's the technique. You have to perform the samskar, garbhadan samskar, and in this way you can attract a pure soul into the womb. So this is important. And those, Prabhupada then continued, those demoniac qualities are taken on by them from the beginning of their bodies and the wombs of their mother. And as they grow, they manifest all these inauspicious qualities. So from the beginning, it's not like they develop them, but from birth they have these qualities. They bring them from the previous life. But Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, don't worry, he said, you are born with the divine qualities. So Arjuna doesn't have to worry, he has divine qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demoniac. He was considering the pros and cons, not acting under the influence of anger or false prestige or harshness. So that is real devotee. He was very thoughtful. So Prabhupada said, two kinds of created beings. One is called divine and the other demoniac. So they do not like people in the divine nature. And Prabhupada talks about what people will tolerate. People don't like the noise. They don't like the noise we make. They don't like our music. They don't like kirtan. Sometimes they don't like the smell of the incense. Sometimes they don't like the smell of the cooking. It's very difficult to please people. And Prabhupada speaks here about how when they do kirtan, the neighbors will complain. Although outside it's very noisy, all kinds of noises there, traffic and people, very noisy. But when we go for kirtan, then they will all complain. Everybody will complain. They don't like our kirtan. They don't like us coming in the streets and chanting. So this is demoniac when they oppose this sankirtan. Right? So just to overview, chapter 16, speaking about first transcendental and demoniac qualities, and then going on to speak about the demoniac nature. I highlighted one verse from the chapter which describes the demoniac nature. Ishwaraham aham bhogi siddhoham balavam sukhi. Ishwaraham, the demon thinks, I am the controller. Aham bhogi, I am the enjoyer. Siddhoham, I have perfections. Siddhoham balavam sukhi. Balavam sukhi, I'm strong and I am happy. So this is the demoniac nature. And we have to purify that nature by Krishna consciousness. So if people have that kind of confidence in themselves, if we can bring them to Krishna consciousness, then they can do something useful. But demoniac activities, people with demoniac activities, they will kill their enemies. Whoever is their enemy will have him killed, like that. They don't care about people. They don't care about people's lives and so on. That's a demoniac nature. Sometimes, in the name of war, they will drop bombs on an innocent area where the women and children are. And they think, oh, very good, we won the war, because they dropped their bombs on innocent people. So that's demoniac civilization. And we spoke about these things, Devi Sampad, Asuric Sampad, and Ugra Karmana. Right? I asked actually the devotees who were present there last week, I asked them if they could come up with something from the internet on Devi Sampad or Asuric Sampad, or even on the farming nature. Did anybody get anything from the internet? Did you come across any news item or article which brought out these things? Anybody? Yes?
I came up with one about Devi Sampadam Devi and the recent Ugra Karmana which happened just I think 2 days.
Oh really? Can you tell us what they were?
Yeah, I was listening one of the lecture of I think His Holiness Devamrit Swami Maharaj, and in that one person was mentioning one of the Sampadam Devi past act. He was mentioning about the Narendra Modi, that Narendra Modi has opened many of the bank accounts for the poor people in India, so that they can get the facility and they can get all the chances for getting some money, so that we can, like, he was doing it in a compassionate way, so we can say that it is in a Sampadam Devi. Am I right, Maharaj?
Okay. Yes, yes.
Yeah, and Ugra Karmana, which has just happened like 2 days before in Pakistan, in Quetta, that there is just the attack. There is some attack in Quetta in Balochistan, but that attack was for the terrorist one, but many innocent people also died. So that comes in a Ugra Karmana, and nobody was aware about it. So that was a news which I was just hearing yesterday, maybe. So
Okay, yeah. Wars going on between different groups of people or different nationalities.
Yeah, and even, sorry Maharaj, yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Mataji.
And even in that war, they are giving like blaming other countries, but the thing is the inner people are doing it. So out of anger and harshness toward other country, they are saying it. So I think that also comes in Sampadam Asurim.
Okay. Yeah, good.
Thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.
Anybody else has anything?
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Actually, Mataji already told you. I have read a newspaper, Dan newspaper, about the attack of terrorists. 92 terrorists were attacked in Balochistan, and many innocent people were killed. So it's a Sampadam Asuram.
Oh yes, innocent people killed. This is it. Yes.
And Israel strikes on Gaza. That is also a Asurim.
Well, we came from. You're saying there's another. What was it? Where did you say the other Tampadam was? Maybe I didn't follow.
Maharaji, Israel strikes kill 32 people in Gaza.
Oh, in Gaza?
Yeah.
What happened?
There is a war between Israeli peoples and Gaza. I think it's a long war. It's been going on.
Oh, it's been going on for a long time. Yeah.
Long time.
It's 2-3 years. 2-3 years.
Yeah, and 2 days ago, 32 fresh Gazas were again killed. People from Gaza.
32?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, good. Terrible. So, is that Asurik Sampat?
Yes, Maharaji.
Okay. Yeah, usually we find a lot of Asurik Sampat, very less Devi Sampat. You know, the godly nature, the divine nature. We don't come across that very often, but we do get a lot of demoniac things going on. And the Ugra Karma is always there. Ugra Karma doing terrible, horrible things, like they built a tunnel. They built the tunnel underneath the water all the way between England and France. That's Ugra Karma. You know, they spent billions and billions, so much money and people's lives and everything to build a tunnel to go under the channel so that people could go back and forward between England and France. So, you know, we feel that these things can be done without. You know, you can go on the boat. You don't have to have a tunnel to take you underneath the whole thing. Anyway, that's Ugra Karma. They have to labor so hard for a little sense gratification. Right? The story is that the man could walk on water, and he got the power through yoga. So he wanted to show people his power. He rolled up his cloth and he He went to the beach, and everybody else, they were taking boats, but he just walked out across the water. So everyone was amazed when they saw him walking on the water. But the man who was doing it, he wasn't so much thinking, I'm great. He was thinking, I spent so much time to get this power to walk on water. I could have taken a boat. I could have just taken a boat and across the water. It wouldn't cost me hardly any money. Now that I'm doing it, I'm walking on water, I'm so obliged to my guru and to all the other people around me. But I could just take a boat like everybody else, go on a boat and I can cross the water. I didn't need to spend all the time and do all the tapasya just to be able to walk on water. So the newspapers and the internet and movies are full of these kind of things. And then the result of sampadam, asuric sampadam, the result is those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, I cast them into the ocean of material existence, into various demoniac species of life. Here you can see nice graphic pictures of some of the demoniac species of life. You can see the shark and the crocodile and vicious dogs and oh my goodness. So the material world is like that. All arranged by the superior power, not accidental. So for the demons it's clearly said that they are perpetually put into the wombs of demons, and thus they continue to be envious, the lowest of mankind. And there we have 3 gates leading to hell, and we should definitely be very careful, and we need to come up to the mode of goodness and situate ourselves in the mode of goodness, get free of the passion and ignorance, because that passion and ignorance is what's keeping us in the material world. And so we have to come up to the platform of goodness and then go on to pure goodness. And Prabhupada gives the example, you want to study law, before you can get in the law college in India, you first have to be a graduate. You have to finish the undergrad course. You have to have like a BA or something like, Bachelor of Arts, and you can get a place in their university. But to get a place without going to university and you want to study law, be very difficult. Very difficult, because you don't know the language, you don't know. So it's important, the same way, you have to come to the mode of goodness. Then you can go on to Krishna consciousness. Right? So lesson 16, we spoke about these different things. We showed the link between 14, 15 and 16, a connection between the chapters. And then we spoke a little bit about abhijatasya, which Prabhupada describes, the importance of having children with good qualities. And then the destination of the demons, Bhagavad Gita describes how they stay in hell for many births. And we're trying to explain something about divine and demoniac nature on the basis of the current world affairs. So you will know the world affairs better than me. I'm not so much in touch with the material world. I hardly ever look at the news. But if there's something important, I will hear it from other people. All right? So there are some examples in nature, world affairs. Ugra karma also, we spoke a little bit about that. Prabhupada explains, these godly characteristics are there. Either you practice yourself to come to the godly characteristics, or there is a simple method. If you take to devotional service, all the godly qualities automatically come. This is a process. So in this age, to develop these godly qualities is very difficult. But if you take to Krishna consciousness by the simple method, by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, then automatically you develop all the godly qualities. Right? And Prabhupada's lecture there on the 16th chapter, Bhagavad Gita, given in Bombay, 1971. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay, any questions on that 16th chapter before we go on to chapter 17? Does anybody have any questions?
Maharaj,
Yes?
some students have shared some of their thought about Ugra Karmana in the chat box. So can I read it for you?
Oh, please. Yeah, let's hear one at a time.
Yeah, so Mehak Mulani Mataji says that here in Pakistan, mostly medical students or volunteers arrange all stuff itself and distributed food and medical to flood victims. I think she's speaking about us, Devi Sampatam.
Yeah, that's Devi Sampatam.
Yeah, and
yes.
Ishwar Prabhu has mentioned, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Danvat Pranams. Maharaj, few days ago in Karachi, Pakistan, some people burned the whole market, Gul Plaza building due to politics and to just grab land, and they showed this to whole public as incidents. And lots of innocent people also die. There can be also Asurim Sampadam.
Oh, yeah. Lots of people died, huh?
Yes.
In the marketplace, there'll be many people there. Where was that? Which place?
In Karachi, Pakistan.
Karachi?
Was old market, Gul Plaza market.
Oh, okay. Okay, so thank you for that. Yes, go ahead. Anything else?
No, Maharaj, that's it. These were the two comments.
Okay. All right. Any other questions from anyone? Everyone's clear about 16th chapter? Okay, good. So we'll go on to chapter 17 then. Chapter 17, the divisions of faith. Where's my PowerPoint? I should open the PowerPoint, right? Oh, Krishna. There we go. Are you able to see this PowerPoint?
No, Maharaj.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll go first to the Bhagavad Gita then. Are you able to see this?
No, Maharaj. We are not able to see it.
Oh, maybe I did it wrong. Let's see. I have to open the... Can you see the PowerPoint now?
Yes, Maharaj.
Oh, good. Okay. So we're into the 17th chapter. Revision. Okay, we covered these things, right? We Don't need to go through them again. So this is on divisions of faith. And first of all, understand the connection between chapter 16 and 17. Right? So chapter 16 finished. There was a verse, you can see this about Shastra Vidim. In other words, the regulation of the scriptures. Yashastra Vidim Utsrijya Vartate Kama Karata Na Sasidim Avapnoti Na Sukam Na Param Gatim. Right? If people don't follow the regulation of the scriptures, right? And if they act according to their own whims, they will attain neither perfection, nor happiness, nor the supreme destination. No, right? Perfection. Nasadim avapnot. Nasukam, no happiness. Na param gatim. They won't come to the supreme destination. So that was the end of chapter 16. Now chapter 17 begins where we ask, what if someone with faith follows some rules which are not mentioned in the scriptural injunction? What is his position? Right? He's following some rules, but the rules which he's following, it's not in the scriptures. So what is his position? This was Arjuna's question, you see. So we point out there are three kinds of faith. Three kinds of faith. Three kinds, meaning it depends on the mode of the material nature. Three kinds. There's goodness, there's passion, there's ignorance. And according to the mode of material nature, the individual will have that kind of faith. It will depend on how he associates with the material nature. Prabhupada explains in the purport of the third verse, as long as one's faith is not completely in purified goodness, then the faith is subject to contamination by any of the modes of material nature. The contaminated modes of material nature expand to the heart. Therefore, according to the position of the heart in contact with a particular mode of material nature, one's faith is established. Right? So somebody's faith will be in the mode of goodness. Somebody's faith will be in the mode of passion. And somebody's faith will be in the mode of ignorance. It's according to as Prabhupada says here, according to the position of their heart in contact with a particular mode. So their faith may be good or passionate or ignorance. People have different kinds of faith. The modes of nature, people's faith is different. Prabhupada explains, people are being controlled by the three kinds of material nature. And if they do not follow the Shastric injunction, then he will concoct. He will create something according to his position, either in the Tamagun or Rajagun or Sattvagun. So if they do not follow the Shastric injunction, still they will do something according to their own thinking, their own position. And what they do will either be in the mode of goodness or passionate or ignorance. There's a bit more. He is going on conducting himself under the influence of the same modes of nature. By those means, superficially doing something in the tamagun, he will not be successful. He will not be successful. Ya shastra vidim utsrijya vartate kama. Right? In the 16th chapter, Lord Krishna said, if you give up the regulation of the scripture and you act independently or whimsically, then you will not get the supreme perfection, you will not get the real goal of this chanting, you will not get the supreme destination, you will not get happiness. So it all depends on the individual and what kind of principles, what kind of mode of nature he's going to follow. Some people are very much in the mode of passion, and they'll follow the rules and regulations according to that. And some people are very much in the mode of ignorance. Prabhupada said, we find different types of faith in this world, and there are different types of religions due to different types of faith. Different kinds of religious processes. They say they're religion, but we will see they have different standards in different places according to different modes of nature. If they're associating with the mode of goodness, then they may be vegetarian and they won't drink alcohol and like that. Just like there's one church from America. They are called the Mormon. M-O-R-M-E-N. Mormon. And sometimes they call themselves the Church of the Latter-day Saints. Because in recent times there was one man, an American man, who somehow he wrote a Bible or something, and this Mormon church is based on this man's writing, his writing, what they call the modern Bible. So they have the rule, they won't drink tea or coffee. They're very strict about that. They're not allowed to take any tea or coffee. They'll eat everything, but they don't drink any tea and they don't drink coffee. They have that rule in their church. So, that it's good in the sense that they have some rule, but of course, the modes of nature are influencing that. And some places, like some Hindu people, they will fast one day a week, maybe Tuesday or something. They don't eat in the morning, half-day fast. So, influence of the modes of nature are there. You could say our Krishna consciousness movement, we also have fasting. We were fasting just yesterday or the day before, was it? For Lord Nityananda. On Saturday there was the appearance day of Lord Nityananda. So we observed the half-day fast. And then we distributed prasadam in honor of Lord Nityananda. So how is that? Is that also influenced by the modes of nature? We have to understand these things. Certainly, modern religious practices, some of them are influenced by the modes of nature. So, do you think you can do this question? Are you able to answer this? Can you go in groups and try to come up with some examples?
Yes, Maharaj.
How many you put in per groups?
How many minutes do we need for that? How many minutes? Can you see 10 minutes if you can do it in 10 minutes?
Okay, Maharaj. How many devotees per group?
How many people do we have?
36, like 34, 35,
So we can,
5 groups of 7s?
yes, that will be good. 5 groups of 7.
7s, fair enough. Man.
See how it goes. Or you could have 7 groups of 5.
That will be too many groups, Maharaj. Like,
Too many groups, huh? Okay.
You have to take feedback from. Okay, Maharaj.
All right.
Open. It's open. They can get into groups. सब लोग ग्रुप्स को ज्वाइन कर ले प्लीज. ये क्वेश्चन है आप लोगों का, कॉपी कर ले क्वेश्चन को. Please copy the question and join in the groups. Okay. Lakshmi Mataji, Damni, Jaya. Lakshmi, Damni, Jaya. Go ahead. Everybody else is there. लक्ष्मी आपके पास आ रहे हैं? लिंक आया आपके पास?
प्रभु जी आया था, मैंने ज्वाइन भी किया था लेकिन नहीं हुआ है, पता नहीं क्यों. रूम 3 था मेरा, आई थिंक.
एक सेकंड होल्ड करो. एक सेकंड होल्ड करना. जो आएगा वहां जाना मत. जब मैं बोलूंगा तब जाना. जब मैं बोलूंगा तब जाना. वेट.
ओके प्रभु जी.
वेट. अब जाओ. जंप इन. आया
प्रभु जी.
आपके ना एक्चुअली दो नाम से आ रहे हैं. आपके नाम से दो डिवाइस आ रहे हैं. वेट. अगर आएगा, अब आएगा. देखो आ गया.
नहीं प्रभु जी, नहीं आया.
ऐसा कैसे? It's telling me Lakshmi is group number 3. दोनों जगह पे नॉट ज्वाइन क्यों आ रहा है? वेट. Let me try
जी
again.
प्रभु आ गया.
जया माता जी, जय होतमनी माता जी. कैमरा बंद कर नहीं, नुकसान हो गया. जय होतमनी माता जी, get in. Maharaj, your tactic of keeping the camera closed is working, it seems. Many devotees have opened their camera today. Thank you, Maharaj. Yeah, they have sobered up. Many of them have sobered up. Thank you, Maharaj.
They've opened their cameras.
Yeah, they needed this dose. They needed this treat. Thank you, Maharaj. So even the students, like they get like a long time into Bhakti-Shastri and then they develop all these bad habits. I see. Maharaj, the devotees are coming back. Time is up.
Okay.
Everybody should be back in another 10 seconds. everybody's back.
Okay, everyone's back. Welcome back. So let me get that question up again, and we'll just see that. All right, so we're asking you to select some modern religious practices and discuss how they are influenced by the modes of nature. So, that's the first part. Who would like to begin? We have how many groups? 5 groups?
5 group Maharaj.
Okay, so who's group number 5? Let's start from 5.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, pranams.
Yes, Hare Krishna, Dandavat pranams.
So from the first question, select some modern religious practices are the mantra meditation and temple services. These comes into the mode of goodness, and in the mode of passion we choose songs which we create to pray Krishna or to pray God. But these songs are mixed devotional songs in which we only ask for our desires. So this example is came into mode of passion, and another example of there will be another example of mode of ignorance, which
I have to hear this. What did you say was the mode of goodness?
Sacrifices. We do sacrifices of the ignorance.
I want to hear them again. Can you tell me, you've got examples of the mode of goodness?
Mode of goodness, we have the mantra meditation and temple services.
Temple services?
Yes.
And what else?
There are many, like we eat vegan food, we become vegetarian, and for the mode of passion, we choose the songs which we create to please our God, but we don't know the real meaning of. We create the mixed devotional songs, like in which we just asking for our desires. We don't know that these are not pleasing for Krishna or pleasing to their gods. We just create the songs. Then even the songs even have the lyrics of the Bollywood songs and other songs. We try to pray by these songs, but this is not a prayer. It's a mode of passion. Like we are asking for the desires, our desire. We are asking for the things we need through these praying songs. And for the mode of ignorance, we have the example of sacrifices, like we slaughter the animals to please our God or Devi Mata. Even many of the areas in Pakistan, we slaughter animals to please their Mata or demigods. So this is the example of mode of ignorance. We don't know what are the background behind that. But just we do it. It says a ritual that our elders, our ancestors do that.
Okay. So.
In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verse 1, Arjuna asked Krishna, what is the position of people who worship with faith but do not strictly follow scripture? In this verse, Arjuna is asking about what is the position of the people who worship Krishna with faith, but they don't know the scripture, they don't follow the scripture, in which mode of they are belong, in which mode they belong. So in the verse 2, 17.2, Krishna, there is a reply. Krishna says that faith is of three kinds based on the mode of nature. Faith has three kinds, which is based on the modes of nature. In verse 3, it says that man is made of faith. As is one faith, so is one. Like everyone has faith, but not the same quality of faith. If someone is more into the goodness, so its faith is more pure and good. And if someone is in mixed, so its faith is in not so good, but their faith is mixed with desires. If someone is in ignorance, their faith is misguided or harmful. For question number 3, compare these practices to practice of Krishna consciousness. Actually, we don't discuss. Let me think about it.
Well,
And question
certainly.
these practices. Yes. Like Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Well, I wanted to hear more about your mode of goodness. You know, how were you describing the mode of goodness? What you said, temple worship?
Yes.
Well, there's so many different kinds of temples. You know, there's some temples that their worship may be very much the mode of ignorance, and some temples their worship may be very much the mode of goodness. It's certainly going to vary a lot. I mean, you can't just categorize all temple worship to be the mode of goodness. It depends what kind of temple it is, you see.
We worship, we serve for the...
Sorry? What did you say?
I'm saying that, yes. Hare Krishna, I'm saying that we serve Krishna, like we go to temple and serve Krishna for our inner peace and for advancement of Bhakti. That's the example of mode of goodness.
Well, that comes at the end. That's the final question. Compare these practices to the practice of Krishna consciousness. You see, that's the final exercise. You want to compare other things, not, you know, huh? Yeah. Going to the Krishna conscious temple is one thing, but we're talking about modern religious practices and how they may be influenced by the modes of nature. So certainly some modern religious practices, some mode of goodness will be there.
Yeah. Go to temple, and in the mode of passion,
I'm sorry? Well, I wanted to hear what the mode of goodness is, first of all, before you go to passion. The mode of passion will be something, generally people, as people want name and fame, they want to get a lot of recognition like that, you know. So
that they are rushing towards the mode of passion is evident that they are want to discuss mode of passion first and goodness, very little goodness.
The passion is very attractive to people. The modern times, the main word, gets people. They like to hear about passion. They think it's exciting. Generally, passion implies a lot of material gain, material recognition. So in the mode of passion, you could say you do some worship, just like during the time of the Second World War, there was a man. He made a lot of money during the war, and so he was worshipping Hitler, because it was because of Adolf Hitler that they had the war, and so he was so grateful to Hitler for having the war because he made so much money. So he was worshipping him. So that's one example of something like the mode of passion. Well, you could say ignorance also, because you're worshipping an ordinary man. You worship an ordinary man, so that's ignorance.
Thank you, Maharaj.
All right. Let's hear from some other group. Let's hear what you came up with. Give some examples. First of all, just generally give some examples, and then we will analyze them. So what kind of modern religious practices can you think about?
May I, Maharaj?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. I want to give some examples of modern religious practices like the Jain, or here in Pakistan, Radha Swamis. There are so many Radha Swamis, or Sikhism. They are not following the particular scriptures, but they are in mode of goodness. Like they are doing satsang and they are doing some seva, like charity or like that. So these are the modern religious practices that they are doing.
Radha Swami. Is that Radha Swami of Bias or Radha Swami of Agra?
Bias. In Pakistan, there are Radha Swamis of Bias, mostly Bias.
In Pakistan,
we can say that like Sikhism is also not like Sanatan Dharma is like that. It has no end or no start, but they are the modern religious things that Sikhism, Jainism in India, Pakistan. In Pakistan, I think there we don't have Jain, but in India. So these are the modern religious practices that they are doing. And they are in mode of goodness, maybe we can say.
Mm-hmm. About you, why do you think they're in the mode of goodness?
Like they are doing satsang, and in my point of view, any satsang which is going, there is nothing bad. Like they are discussing good things, like charity, behaving good, like doing good, being good. These practices they are doing. So, in my point of view, they are in mode of goodness. And sometimes we can say passion also, because fame is there also, because they want some fame. It depends on the person also. That's my point of view.
Yes, well, in some degree, you could say the mode of goodness, in the sense that they're clean and they're maybe vegetarian. Although I don't know, I think probably Radha Swami.
Yes, Radha Swamis are vegetarian. No, they take onion and garlic, but they don't.
Yeah, they take onion.
They are vegetarian. Yes.
Yeah, they take
And
onion and garlic, right?
yes, they don't take alcohol or any sort of these things. So
Mm-hmm. And their concept, they don't have any concept of God. They
no.
don't have a personal God. You see, so their practice is actually atheistic or Gnostic because there's no personal concept of God.
Yes.
They just
They have some sort of goodness. Yes, we can say that. Yes.
Yes, some sort of goodness in the sense that they don't harm other people.
Yes.
They're not harming other people. As far as actually doing any good for other people, that's questionable. You know, you say they do some charity and things like that, but I wonder if it actually does any good for people. You know, you give people some food, but tomorrow they're going to be hungry again. And you can give people nice water to drink, but then tomorrow they need more water to drink. And if you give them good water, then they're not able to drink the bad water again. It can be a problem. And so to actually do good for people, we have to know what is good.
I met Radha Swami. I asked her that you are worshipping your guru, but your guru is worshipping to whom? So do you know that they just stop, like they don't have knowledge of this, that who is God and these things.
Yeah, they don't have any concept of God. Yeah, you spoke very nicely to them. That's a good question to ask. Yeah, generally they just sit and they meditate on their self. So their process is there's some influence of the mode of goodness. There's influence of the mode of passion. And you can see also sometimes it can also be the mode of ignorance because
because they don't have any concept of God.
And they reject all forms of worship. They don't even like incense. You're not allowed incense. And the only person whose picture you can have is the guru. Only the guru's picture. They're quite restrictive about things like that. So there's some we see some good things and some things which are not so good. Okay. And who is actually Radha Swami? Radha Swami means husband. So Radha's husband is actually Krishna, you see. They call themselves Radha Swami. They should be worshipping Krishna. Okay. Was that the only people you had thoughts about? Did you think about any other religious practice? You said the Jains. Jainism, again, is similar. Jainism, of course, there's two groups of Jainism. You've got the Digamba Jains and the Svatamba Jains. There's two groups. One group, they practice a very strict ahimsa, non-violence. Right? That's the Svatamba Jains. They sweep the road, and they don't eat anything which grows below the ground. And they will wear special cloth, ahimsa silk. So that's all the mode of goodness. But again, there's no concept of God. But they're usually very...
Sikhism also. Sikhism. Like Sikhism.
Sikhism?
Yes.
What are you saying about it?
Like they are worshipping. They are not worshipping Krishna, but in their book, they are repeatedly again and again there is the like Ram and Krishna, but they are still not worshipping Krishna or Ram.
Yeah, they give more importance to the gurus. They have the gurus there, and they worship. But they worship their book, the Granth Sahib. That's really what they worship, the Granth Sahib, the book which was written by the Guru. But they appreciate the importance of chanting the holy name, because the Guru, their book and their gurus, they speak about chanting the holy name, but they don't do it, although that's what they speak about. So they say Guru Nanak was a contemporary of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and it said even Guru Nanak met Lord Chaitanya at some point. So there's some Guru Nanak, his intentions were good, but over the course of time there's been some changes, some drifting away from the original teachings. The Sikhism was actually meant to protect the Hindus, to protect the devotees. But now in more recent times they somewhat separate themselves. And they only follow the book, their book, the Granth Sahib. Oh, it's good, they have Shastra, at least they have scripture, and they recite, they will read their book, their holy book. It's very good, that's good. But we need to follow. In Krishna consciousness, we don't just have only Shastra, we have also Sadhu and Guru. There are three authorities, Sadhu, Shastra and Guru. You see, whatever the Shastra says may be understood in different ways. So you have to have also Guru and Sadhu there also. And there should be common understanding. They should agree. They should all agree and have the same understanding, whether Sadhu, Shastra or Guru. If there's any difference there, then something is wrong. That's our Krishna conscious practice. But in Sikhism, they just follow the book. Only the book. All right, any other examples? More modern religious practices?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yes.
Dandavat pranams. The things we discussed in our group were, one of the things were like the most common religious practices in Muslim. It's like the sacrifice of animals. It's a practice they have been following for long, since they have started. And one more was offering red wine in churches.
Like in the Catholic Church?
Yes. That's something we discussed for modern practices. And a few more things were there that for mode of goodness, you were like the preaching through online Zoom sessions, just like we have the fortune to have with you. And other things like the modern counters to chant anywhere and to do that. That was also one of the mode of goodness we discussed. And,
what was that one again?
The modern counters for chanting.
Modern what?
The counters, the counters.
Counter.
Yes.
It says Maharaj is like it's like a japa machine. It's for counting. They use for like it's a machine. It's like they use
A digital counter.
Yes,
digital counter. Yeah, it's like.
So what? Is that?
Yeah. Sorry.
Where are they using that? Just as devotees, you mean?
Yeah, and that's basically in devotees. Mostly when they have to chant in the places where they cannot take their bead bags and beads. Just like sometimes we in the school, we cannot take our bead bags with us, and we cannot find time, and we are free, so we basically take that and complete our rounds there. So that's one of the very
you use a digital counter.
Sometimes, because in places like schools or workplaces, we are not, we cannot take our bead bags because they don't basically allow us to take these things. So that's why.
Mm-hmm.
And
so, I mean, that practice of taking a digital counter using we call them usually clickers, because when you're using it makes a clicking sound. And so you can use in some parts of the world, we have that problem, like in the Middle East also. Sometimes we often use it's more convenient to just have that clicker rather than a bead bag. And similarly, in China also, it's more common to use a clicker rather than to have the bead bag, which is it's more noticeable, and people see it. They want to know what it is. What are you doing, and like that. And you don't really want to have that kind of contact. So a clicker machine that's all right. I think that's not a problem. It's not really changing the mode of nature. It's not real, because we're chanting the Maha Mantra on it. So it's transcendental. It's not really under the modes of nature.
Mm-hmm.
All of Krishna's paraphernalia are all transcendental. The Mridanga and the kartals and all the arti paraphernalia. And so our bead bag and beads, even our clicker, it's all transcendental. It's spiritual. Because we're using it directly to serve Krishna. I mean, other people may use clickers, and they do. Maybe they're also chanting. You were saying about the wine, drinking the wine, the red wine. In the Catholic Church, they do have that custom. When they perform the Mass, they give they say it's the blood of Christ.
Yeah.
Right? And they drink that. And they have also some biscuit or something which they also take, symbolizing the flesh of God.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, the problem is that sometimes people become addicted to these things, and they will drink more and more, and they become alcoholic just drinking that kind of wine. And they do have a problem like that in the Catholic Church, with people becoming alcoholics because of drinking too much of the wine.
And even in Pakistan and in our things, the great saints and Muslims as well, the dargahs, the great personalities that have been in the world once, they also offer alcohol there as well. So that's also one of the practices.
Who do they offer alcohol to?
Those were some great saints back in the time.
Great sense, not so great sense. I mean, whatever you may.
Great, but not so great. So they worship them as their as their gurus, and then they offer the alcohols and other things to them.
Okay. Yes, so then the modes of nature, mode of passion and ignorance is there. But of course, sometimes people say, well, it's all right to drink so long as you don't drink too much. You know, they try to compromise on these things, you know. And people say, oh, no, it's all right to drink so long as you don't get drunk, so long as you don't drink too much. But you can never argue with these kind of people. You try to tell someone maybe you've drank enough, or you try to tell someone you're drunk, and say, no, I'm not drunk, you know, and they're stinking of alcohol. The people won't admit it. So we have, of course, we're quite strict on this thing, and Krishna consciousness, that we have no alcohol. We're not allowed to take alcohol in any of its forms. Even Coca-Cola and coffee are restricted because of the caffeine. And that's very difficult for some people, you know, because they get so addicted to tea, they can't give up tea. And in China, they have a lot of tea drinking. Tea actually comes from China. The whole culture of tea originated in China, and the British then brought it to India and Pakistan. But in China, they have very powerful tea, and they will drink tiny cups of it, tiny little cup, but it's so powerful. And it's part of the religious process. It's part of their culture to drink tea. And Buddhist monks, of course, they will all drink it.
Maharaj, India returned the favor to China in those days. They exported tea to us. We exported marijuana to them. So we just returned the favor.
Okay.
The opium wars.
Maharaj, I have a question. May I?
Yes. Yeah, what's your question?
My question is that in verse number 3, that it says that because we have forgotten our relationship with the Supreme Lord, and then we got influenced by the modes of material nature, and then all the different religions and everything came. But there is one thing I want to ask it about, like they highlight the word Shraddha as like faith. So being in different religions, people also they practice their faith on the Supreme Lord, even though it's in different ways. And it's like in Sikhism it's differently, in Muslims it's differently, but they are practicing their faiths. And then we're still saying that the things were distributed in religion. So what about that? Like, is the faith basically the faith is being looked, or the different religions?
Well, it's both. You know, different people will have faith according to their. It's not going to be the same for everyone. Now, some people will have more faith, and some people will have less faith. It may be in the same religion, But the idea is the different practices which they have there will invoke a particular mode of nature. And we see people are attracted, some people, they're attracted according to that nature. You know, just like in some cults, there was a group, there's a group, they're called, what were they? Anyway, they have to walk barefooted every morning. They go to the temple barefooted. Do you know this place, Bhima Prasad Prabhu? You know what it is? Who are they?
Oh, but I understand like the Jains practice like that. But yeah, the
Jains, maybe it's the Jains, yeah. Anyway, over in Taiwan, there's a group of Jains there, and so they got a property for them. They got they got this office in a building, and they made their temple there. And so they were walking to the temple, coming in the building with no shoes, and so walking in the road and then coming in the building, and everybody complained. And it became a big case, and they went to court, and they fought in the court, but anyway, they got them out of the building. They wouldn't let them stay in the building because they said we have to go to our temple with no shoes on, and they have to walk barefooted. And the people there in Taiwan, they said, "Wow, this is terrible. We don't want you walking in your dirty feet coming in our building, So some people have no faith in these things. Some people, they think this is faith. Their faith is to walk barefooted, to be barefooted and to go to temple like that. That's their faith. But for other people or common people, they're thinking, "Oh, this is terrible." So different people's understanding of what is the proper thing to do, what is the proper behavior. They're thinking it's very good, and other people are thinking it's very bad. But it's their faith, it's their practice, which is there. That they should go there barefooted. So the faith, the individual's faith will be there, and then according to their faith, they practice that way. You see. Now, walking barefoot, they're walking and they're wearing also the simple garment, the dhoti and like that, nothing sewn. So, in some ways, it's like the mode of goodness, it's no shoes, you're not wearing any shoes, but in other ways, it's a mode of ignorance. According to what are the standards in that country, in that place. People are thinking, this is very bad. You're not wearing shoes, and you come into our building, dirty everything. When it rains outside, your feet are all wet and muddy or dirty, and you come into the building, our nice marble floor is all messed up by your dirty feet. Your your soles of your feet leave marks all over the floor. We can't have like this every day. But there are the people who are practicing like that. This is our faith. This is our religion. We're practicing. This is how we're supposed to practice. It's in our scriptures. So for some people it's faith, and for other people it's not. For some people it's the mode of goodness, and for other people it's the mode of ignorance. Somebody has faith in what he's doing, so he thinks, it's really good. This is the mode of goodness. But somebody else, they don't understand it at all. They're not in that religion. They don't recognize what you're doing, and so they think this is the mode of ignorance. To leave dirty black footprints all over our floor inside our building.
Noted, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
So faith is influenced by the modes. And the type of practice, according to the person's nature. Somebody by nature, and they're in the mode of goodness. Somebody else is in the mode of passion or ignorance. And because of the mode which they're in, they're attracted to a religion of a particular nature like that. They'll be attracted, like somebody who's in the mode of goodness, they'll be naturally attracted more to practice things of the mode of goodness. But again, like I say, what is the mode of goodness is going to be a relative thing according to the country and the culture in which you're in. And you can't, Krishna consciousness, we bring the culture of Krishna consciousness to the West, and it shocked people. When we would shave our heads and have a shika at the back of the head, it was a sensation in England for young men to have shaved heads and to be out there on the road singing and dancing, dressed in robes. Because initially, when Prabhupada first went to the West, I know in England, we'd never seen monks. We had no experience of seeing monks like this before. In Buddhist countries, you will see Buddhist monks all the time, so it's not a very big thing. But in Western country, you don't see monks. Very, very rare to see a monk, And certainly in Prabhupada's time, when Prabhupada brought Krishna consciousness there, I hadn't seen monks before. It was certainly a new thing for me. The first monks I ever saw were Hare Krishna monks. I'd never seen anybody else. And it was certainly new to see people shave their heads. But it's very common in countries, a Buddhist country. You see a lot of Buddhist monks, you see people, and you see even women do it, So how to understand these things? Certainly there's going to be different divisions of faith. Some people think you're crazy. When the first devotee shaved his head in New York, he got put in a mental hospital. They thought he was mad. And they put him in the mental hospital. And it took a week or two to get him out. Because it's New York, it's America, and you dress like a monk, you must be crazy. So sometimes your faith, your beliefs can get you in trouble. So modes of nature, like ladies wearing a sari, it's very much the mode of goodness. It's meant to be the mode of goodness. The sari is meant to cover the body. But modern times, you get women wearing the sari, and they wear the sari in another manner. They reveal more of their bodies and cover their body. Just the opposite, in fact. So everything, how we use how we do everything, is important. You can see pictures of Yamuna Mataji in the very beginning of our Krishna consciousness movement. And if you see how the women wore the sari there in the very beginning of the movement, you know, they were really covered. They really covered themselves. And but over the years, you know, things change, you know. The standards also vary a bit. So faith is an important thing, and we do want people to keep their faith, and we want to have faith, which is our faith should be pure goodness. It should be transcendental. It shouldn't just be the mode of goodness. Because the problem with the mode of goodness is that sometimes it becomes a mode of passion, and sometimes it becomes a mode of ignorance. So just being, you know, just like animal slaughters, you know, the people doing it, they're doing it with the religious intentions, and they consider the animal as being sacrificed, and it will be promoted to a, you know, better position, higher position. But other people, they can do it in a very different manner. They're slaughtering the animal, and then quickly take the animal and cut it up and cook it, and they all eat. There was one professor from the USA. He was going to Bengal to check out the Durga Puja or something, you see. So he asked Tamal Krishna Goswami if he could help him, because he'd never been in India before. Anyway, he went to this Durga Puja place, and the professor described how it was just insane. You know, people were all drunk and intoxicated, and there was blood around everywhere, you know, smearing blood on each other from the dead goat, killing the goat, the blood all over the place, and people all intoxicated and crazy. That was the experience at the Durga Puja. But then he went to the Krishna Conscious Center, and it was quite a different experience. He was nicely received, he was looked after, he was given some nice vegetarian food to eat, he was given a nice place to rest. He had a very different experience. You know, he went to find out about different religious processes. And he saw the difference, how there's a big difference in different places. So, like that, we want to understand there are certainly a lot of differences in religious practice. And generally, we're tolerant about these things. And we want to encourage people in their practice. And we want to point out to them how they can, you know, to come to a higher level. Generally, people are not in knowledge about the modes of nature. They don't understand about goodness, passion, and ignorance. And so we try to explain about these things and help them to come to a higher understanding. But unfortunately, people who are in passion and ignorance, it's very difficult for them to understand these kind of things, because they're in that lower mode of nature. Their minds are too covered over, too contaminated. It's too difficult for them to understand some higher consciousness. Okay, so we'll stop here tonight, I think. It's time up. So I'll see you tomorrow night. We'll continue. Please think about it. And we'll continue tomorrow. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so very much. But there's a hand, please.
So much, Maharaj.
There is a hand, please, in case you.
Sorry?
There is a hand that is raised in case if you want to take out.
Oh, Sagar, there's a hand. Is it Sagar has a question? Yes, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yes, Maharaj, I want to say something.
Yeah, please.
Yes, I am very ashamed of my non-seriousness. Please apologize me because I don't present in past days. So very much sorry. And now I will try my best to come in to active in classes. Please, Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh, okay. So we'll look forward to having your association. We're nearly finished. But anyway.
We apologize, Maharaj, for misbehavior, Maharaj.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Jai.
Thank you so much, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj. Hare Krishna.